We are what hides in everybody. We are the evil. We are the darkness. These are our stories.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I've been extremely busy. So this week, I've asked CREEPYKID Pasta to fill in for me. Please do enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe to his channel as well as mine.
This is a bit of a long story, and I'm not sure how coherent it will be considering I'm suffering from a clogged head due to sinus congestion from hell, but please bear with me. My mother and I were interested in the paranormal, and we had shared some weird experiences when I was a child. Given that I was a child at the time, I'm 23 now, I can remember the old events with clarity, and they are largely irrelevant anyway. We remained largely skeptical of other people's claimed experiences, but we watched some of the more realistic and halfway credible paranormal documentary shows. One show we particularly enjoyed was A Haunting. There was an episode about the Mexican demonic figure called Saint Death. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this figure, here's a link to it on Wikipedia. Anyway, the people in this episode claimed that they were being haunted by the thing. A while later, I noticed that Kroger sells, at the time, they don't now, votive candles to Saint Death. I get the feeling that Kroger didn't know of the dark connotations with Saint Death, because the candles were sold alongside one of Saint Mary, Saint Jude, etc. I couldn't believe that they sold the candle, and of course I had to have it. So I spent like $5 or whatever it was and brought it home. It didn't take long for unusual things to occur. My mother immediately said it was sending her a weird feeling, and she demanded that I get rid of it. I refused and told her it was just a silly candle. It's not like I was lighting it and praying to Saint Death. I just let the candle sit there. A few days later, my mom started saying she was having regular nightmares, where something was haunting her and saying it was connected to the candle. I just told her it was her imagination to forget about it. Not much later, my mom began saying she was having paranormal experiences while she was awake, and she believed it was connected with the candle. This weirded me out some, but I told her she was crazy. A week or two later, she believed that the completely normal event was the entity telling her that she was going to be the next person in her family to die. She had lost her father the year before and her mother the year before that. I told her that her explanation of the event was bizarrely silly and immature, until I got to thinking. The date the experience happened was the 11th of September, the 1-year anniversary of her father's death. I asked her if she had realized that, and if it had played a role in her thinking the event was paranormal, and she said she had not. So at that point, it became creepy to me. After that, the paranormal events stopped. About 6 months later, my mom started complaining of extreme pains mostly in her legs. Then the pain spread elsewhere. She started seeing one doctor after the other. All the doctors were running her in circles and seemed only interested in her insurance. We're American, by the way. She finally found a doctor willing to help her, and she had my mom scanned, but told her that if the pain kept getting worse, to just go to the emergency room and demand a scan. A few days later, she did just that and was immediately diagnosed with stage IV cancer. She went downhill fast and passed away within 5 weeks in September. 12 months since she believed Saint Death told her she was going to die, and 24 months since her father passed away. A few days later, I connected what had happened to my mom with her experiences, and it seemed too weird to be a coincidence. Furthermore, I have always connected my relatives dying to other events that always happen in the spring of a year a relative dies. I actually predicted her death in the spring of the year she died because of the familiar events happening. Basically, there are too many coincidences. Given that Saint Death is worshipped mostly by people who consider themselves Catholics, I asked a local Catholic priest about it. In between trying to convert me to Roman Catholicism, he advised me that the occult and paranormal are real, and that I should just get rid of all my occult items to stay away from them. So I just thought I'd share this story with you and see what you all think.